Hi, it's FPL Belville, and welcome to my Game Week 2 team video. Here we go. Just to set out my overall strategy before, I've set the team up to bench boost in Game Week 2. We'll talk about that a bit more. I am a contributor to the Geek site, so I use a lot of their rankings for my picks. I don't really have DEFCON players. I've gone more for traditional goal and assists, and that means I normally pick the value defenders from the best teams, the best defensive teams anyway. So I have a full value squad. I don't really believe in trashing the bench, so I can rotate for the best fixtures. I think that's even um, more necessary this season with the promoted teams. Despite having a couple of wins out of the three, I'm still expecting them to be the whipping boys for the season. I possibly will triple captain Haaland in game week 3, just before he gets bogged down in European games. He has two more home games, basically, against the promoted teams before you lose the chip. So I could do one of those, but they're much later in the season. Got no wildcard plan at the moment. I'll see how it goes. And I often use the Fantasy Football Geek Planner, as it's a really good way of visualizing the game weeks ahead. I'll put the link there. Okay, so the game week 1 points were fairly underwhelming. You do have to remember that there were 800,000 bench points, and I didn't bench boost points, and I didn't bench boost. So I got 50 points, returns from João Pedro, Vardiol, and Calafiore. João Pedro, unfortunately, was the only attacking player who returned, which was pretty disappointing to say the least. It's only game week 1, long way to go. I'm relaxed now, and I'll make up a bit of this when I bench boost, hopefully, next game week. So Fantasy Football Geek has started to put out their analysis of games. You can see here, these are the value for money ratings. So you can see basically the returns are given a rating depending on how they related to their price. So you can see Mateta, who really, I still can't believe he didn't score in that game. Wissa had a good game. He was definitely who I was thinking of instead of Calvert-Lewin, which I didn't do in the end. You got Emerson there from Coventry, Isak, who also had a good start statistically, even though he didn't score. And you've got various other players down there. And you can see, obviously, Haaland finds it pretty difficult to get a rating of 10 or more just with his price, drags him down, even though the XG at 0.75 was pretty good and he had 5 shots. I'm relaxed about Haaland, so there's certainly no panic. From my point of view, I'd say Calvert-Lewin was the disappointment with only 1 point. Havertz scored, but it was a fairly low probability, great finish if you saw it. Now the midfielders, we've got the Greens who performed to their price on the left and those who didn't on the right. I'm not really going to go through on those too much. I had Mbumo Sade in the green. I don't think I've actually got Lafi in here anywhere. I'll need to correct that. And well, they'll need to correct that. I can add it in myself though, and you can see who else I had. Yeah, I'll just leave it like that for the moment. So Fernandez obviously didn't. Trying to think who else. Where's Sade? Oh yeah, Sade's there as a positive. In fact, should have really got an assist if Thiago had to put away the penalty. Defences, you can see that's been carried on from last season to give a sort of a last 10 picture. Brighton, Leeds, Arsenal, Ipswich only 1 game, so you can't really count that. Man City, and then Palace. So I have defences from Brighton, not from Leeds, from Arsenal, from Man City. There, obviously, I've got Coventry as well. and Brighton and Spurs, who dropped down quite a lot after what was a pretty awful performance against Brentford. So I'm not making any transfers. I'm going to carry over free transfer this week. I think that's the best way to play it. There's lots to come, as you'll see in the next slide. So this is my team. Um, as I say, I'm probably going to bench boost. I haven't pushed the bench boost button, even though you can undo it. So I could have done it. Um, I would struggle to think who I'm going to actually put on the bench for Xhaka, to be honest, because I'd like him to start. I definitely wouldn't do Calafiore. I don't really like the idea of anyone on the bench there, particularly, um, including Xhaka. And even I think if I wasn't bench boosting, Thomas against Hull wouldn't particularly worry me. But I will swap around the keepers between Verbruggen and Kinski, by the way, um, before the game week starts. So last of all, let's have a look at the transfer planner. So yeah, no transfers planned in game week 2. In game week 3, depending on how Manchester City set up, I'd like to bring in another one for another City player for their game against Coventry. I'm a massive fan of Turkey, so he came on and got 2 assists. Foden didn't really produce anything, so I'm hoping that Turkey comes in. We'll get game week 2 to see whether he starts or not. I could actually put Foden in there instead. I don't really want to. And then you can see game week 4 where Chelsea play Hull. So I've got Palmer coming in for Fernandes and Colwell coming in for Shaw, because that's when Manchester City and Manchester United play. Okay, that's it. Hope you had a good game week. Remember to like and subscribe. Leave any comments if you want to ask any particular questions. Okay, thanks very much.